The movie begins with a meeting of members of a hitman who are members of a company called MK Enterprise led by a man named Cha Men-kyu, or commonly referred to as Chairman Cha. During the meeting, Chairman Cha made 3 rules for his members. Rule 1, you must never murder minors. Rule 2, you must only take jobs sanctioned by your company. Rule 3, you must always attempt jobs sanctioned by your company. If they cannot apply those 3 rules, then they will be expelled from the company. Next, we will be introduced to the main character of this movie, a single mother who works as a hitman named Gil Bok-soon. One day, Bok-soon was assigned to kill a Yakuza named Shinichiro Oda. In her mission, Bok-soon deliberately did not kill him in the first place. Instead, she invited him to fight for the reason that she wanted to fight fairly. Bok-soon then gave him a samurai sword, and she herself would use a hatchet. A fight between the two ensued, and in the midst of the fight, Oda managed to completely overwhelm Bok-soon. Bok-soon has the ability to predict the fight. In that fight, she sees herself being killed, and not wanting that to happen to her, she pleads to Oda to switch her weapon, which is allowed by Oda, who is convinced that Bok-soon will die at his hands. However, Bok-soon cheats, and instead of taking a new weapon to return to a fair fight, he shoots Oda right in the head. The next day, the death of Oda, the Yakuza leader, is broadcasted on TV, and Min-kyu is happy when he sees the news, saying that Bok-soon has done her job well. However, his sister, Min-hee, seems unhappy because she is jealous of Bok-soon's skill in killing. In the evening, Bok-soon gets together with the other members of the hitmen, and in the meeting, one of them asks how much she gets paid, and after knowing the huge fee she got, everyone is not that surprised considering Bok-soon is the most expensive hitman in MK. The next day, Bok-soon comes to the office to meet Chairman Cha Men-kyu, but when she gets there, she meets Min-hee instead. At the same time, a new member named Yang-ji is dueling with a man. It turns out that the fight was an exercise to hone their skills. Bok-soon, who just gets there, is welcomed by all the members, and Min-hee says that Yang-ji could be Bok-soon's successor, because she is very good at fighting. Then Min-hee asks Bok-soon to have a duel with Yang-ji. Bok-soon refuses at first, but when Min-hee says that Yang-ji is better than her, she ends up agreeing to the duel. In the duel, Bok-soon takes a marker as her weapon, while Yang-ji is armed with a wooden knife. Bok-soon wins the duel and shuts Min-hee up, declaring that she is still the best. Right after that, Bok-soon meets Chairman Cha. For the next assassination mission, Chairman Cha offers Bok-soon the option to choose one of the 2 envelopes. This time, the mission is a Class A ranked mission, the highest mission for a hitman. After choosing one of the envelopes, Bok-soon gets surprised that she's assigned to kill a boy, but Chairman Cha says that the young man is not a boy, but a full-grown man from a wealthy family. Shortly after, Bok-soon gets a call from the school informing her that her daughter, Jae-young, got into a fight and stabbed a student. She rushes to the school upon hearing the news. When she gets there, Bok-soon is told that the school couldn't find out the reason why Jae-young stabbed her friend, since Jae-young just remained silent, and it put her in risk of being expelled from the school. Bok-soon then asks her daughter why she hurt her friend, and Jae-young replies that she did intend to kill her friend. Knowing that, Bok-soon feels angry, but she can't do anything about it. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the leaders of each company under MK are holding a meeting. At the meeting, they discover that there was a murder victim that may have been committed outside the company's orders, and the culprit could be a member of one of their men. Having heard that, Chairman Cha emphasizes that if the culprit is indeed MK's man, then he is ready to accept the consequences, by sentencing him to be beheaded. Meanwhile, Bok-soon continues to ask why Jae-young hurt her friend, but Jae-young still chooses to remain silent and walks away from her mother. SAS the story goes, Chairman Cha prepares to go on an overseas assignment trip, and before he leaves, he tells Bok-soon that Yang-ji will accompany her on her next mission. Later that night, Bok-soon and Yang-ji start their move by sneaking into the victim's apartment. After the young man is knocked unconscious, Yang-ji prepares to kill the man, but before that, Bok-soon gives Yang-ji directions on how to make the target actually look like a suicide. At that moment, Bok-soon discovered the fact that the guy he was going to kill was the son of an ordinary man who will run for prime minister, which led to her not killing him, as the man is a wicked man who has the heart to kill his own son. At the same time, Chairman Cha eventually reached Russia in search of his target. A few moments later, he gets contacted by Bok-soon, who says that she has failed in her mission. At that point, Chairman Cha seems to be in disbelief. How could someone like Bok-soon fail in her mission? To convince Chairman Cha, Yang-ji tells him that this failure is also her fault. However, Chairman Cha still doesn't believe it and thinks Bok-soon has broken the rules by avoiding her duties. In the middle of the conversation, the mob boss, Chairman Cha's target, suddenly arrives, so Chairman Cha moves in and kills them all. Bok Soon, who overhears the murder from the phone line that has not been turned off by Chairman Cha, then intends to extend her work contract with MK, even though she previously intended to retire. In the renewal of her contract, she gives one condition, that no one can continue the task that she has failed to do, and Chairman Cha agrees with the condition since she is his best employee. After completing his mission, Chairman Cha told his sister to close down Bok Soon's case as a failed case and also prepare a contract extension with Bok Soon. Min-hee is upset to hear her brother's decision, as she thinks it might affect the company's reputation. Even so, Chairman Cha remains with his stance to close the case. Then the story of the movie flashes back to the past. At that time Chairman Cha was about to kill a man, but all of a sudden the man's daughter, who turned out to be Bok Soon, arrived. Bok Soon unexpectedly wanted her father's death too, and without saying much, she then kicked the chair that supported her father, making her father die in no time. Upon seeing that, Min-kyu was both shocked and amazed, and he made Bok Soon an assassin. We're back to the present. Jae-young finally reveals the reason why she hurt her friend. She says that she was often bullied by her friend, and Bok Soon then asks Jae-young to tell her everything. Jae-young then tells that the victim, Cheol-woo, secretly took a picture of her kissing her friend Sora. Cheol-woo has liked Jae-young for a long time, threatened to spread the photo if Jae-young wouldn't date him for 1 month, and after 1 month he would break up their relationship as if he was the one who dumped Jae-young. When Jae-young finds it out, she refuses his offer and she stabs him with a pair of scissors. After hearing Jae-young's story, how can a mother's heart not be broken knowing that her daughter is a lesbian, especially when Jae-young said firmly that she was the one who was the man in the relationship? Meanwhile, on the other hand, Min-hee goes to one of the hitmen named Hee-sung to give him the task of continuing Bok Soon's failed case. With no second thoughts, Hee-sung agrees, not to mention that his name will be famous for carrying out the highest mission or level task. In the meantime, Yang-ji, who has apparently been fired from the company for failing in her task, comes to Bok Soon. Upon learning that Yang-ji had been fired, Bok Soon consoles her and treats her to a meal together. Shortly after, the other members arrive and tell that Hee-sung has now risen to the A rank, and on hearing that news, Bok Soon realizes that something is wrong, and her hunch is right. At that very moment, Min-hee calls them and offers them a job to kill Bok Soon. With no second thoughts, they all go straight for Bok Soon, including the shopkeeper. In the fight, Yang-ji eventually chooses to hunt Bok Soon down, so a fierce fight ensues, but when Bok Soon is about to be killed, Yang-ji backs her up, and manages to finish off all of their opponents. After the incident, Bok Soon tells the cleaners to carry the corpses away, then she asks the reason why Yang-ji helped her. Yang-ji then says that she did it just to survive. She feels that her chances of survival are better with Bok Soon. Shortly after, Jae-young calls and asks when she's coming home, and just as she's about to answer, Chairman Cha arrives. Cha Min-kyu is furious, knowing that Bok Soon has killed off his members and that it could break them apart. Luckily Yang-ji is there, and she explains that this is all Min-hee's doing. She had ordered the hitmen to kill Bok Soon. Chairman Cha then warns Bok Soon that the one he killed was the son of the gangster boss of his company, and Cha Min-kyu tells Bok Soon to go home and asks him to come to the company the next morning, but Bok Soon refuses, so inevitably, Bok Soon has to fight against Min-kyu. One thing that makes Bok Soon different from other hitmen, she can predict the things that will happen to her, so in her fight against Min-kyu this time, Bok Soon sees the moment she is defeated by Min-kyu. She finally realizes that he can't beat him. In the end, Bok Soon finally tells him that she will come to the office and renew her contract. Shortly after Bok Soon leaves, Chairman Cha asks Yang-ji not to tell anyone about this matter, but after Yang-ji promises to keep her mouth shut, he kills her. When she reaches home, Bok Soon is scolded by her daughter, who is so worried because she didn't answer her phone. But from this incident, the relationship between the mother and the daughter began to get closer as they reflect on their lack of honesty with each other. Even so, Bok Soon still has to lie about her job for the good of her daughter. The next day, the gangster bosses who found out that their men were killed, finally held a meeting to discuss this matter. They want to hear Chairman Cha's reasons for the incident, and they even make a statement that Chairman Cha is involved in the killing of their men. Chairman Cha tries to defend Bok Soon, saying that Bok Soon was forced to kill them all because she was attacked in the first place. Mr. Shin doesn't believe it and asks Chairman Cha to kill himself according to the rules. But Chairman Cha refuses and says that he is the rule. Ruthlessly, he kills Mr. Shin, leaving everyone in the room in utter silence. At the same time, Bok Soon had apparently killed Min-hee after knowing that she would be killed by Chairman Cha. Bok Soon then challenges Chairman Cha to a duel and gives him a pen that she had used to kill Min-hee. Chairman Cha takes the challenge and all the members who know about it are shocked that Bok Soon dares to do so. The night before she leaves, Bok Soon takes her time to have dinner with her daughter and then goes to the office to deal with Chairman Cha. When she arrives, she is bombarded with bullets by Chairman Cha, but she casually sits down and invites him to have a drink with her. After talking for a little while, Bok Soon predicts her battle, and in her prediction, she loses to him. Bok Soon then repredicts the fight, but after dozens of predictions, she finally realizes Chairman Cha has 0 weaknesses. Apparently there is only one weakness in him, which is herself. As a matter of fact, Chairman Cha loves Bok Soon so much that he can't kill her. After finding out about it, Bok Soon ends up using the samurai and manages to kill Chairman Cha. Unexpectedly, the incident was seen by Jae-young as Chairman Cha's men came to the house and showed the CCTV footage. Bok Soon panics when she finds out that Jae-young witnessed her murdering Chairman Cha. She rushes home to see her daughter, and when she gets home, Bok Soon finds Jae-young still asleep, but when she is about to close the door, Jae-young wakes up and goes straight to her and praises her for her hard work. The sight of how her daughter behaved made Bok Soon feel even more guilty. The end.